Welcome back, children. Children, we have learnt in our previous session about the failure of the projects made by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. His failures incurred a heavy expenditure and there was a loss in the treasury, and later on, this was then taken over by his cousin Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Now, Firoz Shah Tughlaq ruled from 1351 to 1388, and he was chosen by the nobles and the ulemas as the new sultan after the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was a very peace loving and benevolent ruler, and after assuming power, Firoz Shah tried to please the nobles and the ulemas who were not happy in the regime of Muhammad. He gifted bigger jagirs to the nobles and enforced Islamic laws and gave grants to the ulema to please them. Firoz Shah faced many revolts during his rule but could not crush them all. He failed to suppress the revolts in Bengal and Bihar and showed no interest in conquering the regions that had become independent kingdoms during Muhammad's rule. He attacked Jagannath temple in Orissa and charged the jizya from the Hindus, portraying himself as a religious fanatic. He made many welfare measures. He took many welfare measures undertaken by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Out of this, the first was that he reduced the land taxes in the Doab, which was increased by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and this was a sheer failure. And then canals and dams were also built to promote the agriculture and to curb the losses that the farmers had to face. Then there were harsh punishments for criminals to make the judiciary system more humane. Then he promoted education, and to promote education, he gave state funds to mosques and madrasas, and many educational institutions were also built. Then free hospitals were set up for the poor, and rest houses were also built for travelers. Then Firoz Shah was a great builder. He built the new towns of Hisar, Firozpur, Jaunpur and Firozabad, which is now known as Firoz Shah Kotla. And he laid many numerous gardens and orchards, and he had a great interest in ancient Sanskrit works, and he commissioned his scholars to translate the works into Persian and Arabic. Firoz Shah died in 1388, and after his death his successors could not effectively take on the Sultanate, and many provinces became independent. And during the reign of the last Tughlaq ruler Nasruddin Mahmud, the Turco-Mongol ruler Timur Lenk, also called Timur, invaded India, and he captured Delhi in 1398 and thus ended the rule of the Tughlaqs. Now, invasion of Timur. Timur was a Turco-Mongol ruler of Central Asia, and Samarkand was the capital of his kingdom. Taking advantage of the weak rulers of the Tughlaqs, Timur invaded India in 1398 and he looted Delhi, and his soldiers mercilessly killed thousands of Muslims and Hindus. Timur did not want to rule in India. So before returning to Samarkand, he handed his everything he handed his empire to Khizr Khan, who was the governor of his conquered territories in India. Khizr Khan had served under Firoz Shah as governor of Multan. However, he joined Timur when he attacked India. Later on, he established a new dynasty that was called the Sayyid dynasty. Then Khizr Khan captured Delhi and founded the Sayyid dynasty in 1414, which lasted for 37 years. Khizr Khan himself ruled for 17 years, and the other three rulers of the Sayyid dynasty were Mubarak Shah Sayyid, Muhammad Shah Sayyid, and Alauddin Alam Shah Sayyid. And the last Sayyid ruler was defeated by Behlol Lodhi, who later found the dynasty of the Lodhis, that is the Lodhi dynasty. The Lodhi dynasty was the last dynasty of the Sultanate. but it was the first Afghan dynasty to rule in India. The Lodhi dynasty ruled for 75 years, and the three sultans of this dynasty were the founder ruler Behlol Lodhi, then comes Sikandar Lodhi and Ibrahim Lodhi. Now, to strengthen his power and consolidate the fragmented sultanate, Behlol Lodhi replaced the rebellious provincial governors with loyal Afghan governors. So, those governors who had become rebellious and they were often revolting against the sultanate, they were dethroned and Afghan governors were placed in their place. He succeeded in expanding the sultanates from Punjab to Bihar during his rule, and Behlol Lodhi was succeeded by his son Sikandar Lodhi. He turned out to be the most capable ruler of the Lodhi dynasty, and Sikandar was succeeded by his son Ibrahim Lodhi. So he was not a capable ruler like his father, and he was popular with neither the masses nor the nobility, and he could not tackle the rebellions against him. He angered senior nobles and governors by replacing them with younger ones. Some members of the displeased nobility invited Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur, the ruler of Kabul, to invade India. So these displeased nobility, under the rule of Ibrahim Lodhi, they invited Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur, the ruler of Kabul, to come to India and invade it. So they sided with Babur against Ibrahim Lodhi in the first battle of Panipat in 1526, where Ibrahim Lodhi was defeated. And that was the first battle of Panipat, which proved a historical milestone, as Babur's victory laid the foundation of the 330 years of Mughal rule in India. So this was the end of the Delhi Sultanate, and there began the Mughal rule, which we will study in our next chapter. So this is all for now, and have a nice day.